intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay By Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The CDC opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. the man.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into Real FM 91.3, the frequency for those of you in the north, and 91.5 south. And to our viewers on NBC Television, channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We're also on Facebook Live. And haven't you noticed that on Facebook Live today, we have two tracks on the Facebook Live? Yeah, we have the Real FM Facebook Live, and we have the NBC Facebook Live. So that's if you know you have difficulties getting one, you can always get the other. The disadvantage is that sometimes I would have preferred for us to have a consolidated pool where, you know, everybody can interact with everybody else and have their discussions. But I was convinced that it works for the better, so that if one goes down, we have the other one running. And you can always toggle, you know, nowadays online, it's so easy for you to toggle between one side and the other. So that really shouldn't present any difficulty. I continue to get a few complaints here and there about people who say, like, you know, the sound, the breakup. But, you know, sometimes we're never sure whether the problem is at our end or whether it is the problem with your internet, if you're following us. It all depends. There often isn't enough time to ask you whether you're listening to us, you know, online, you know, via Facebook, social media, whether you're listening to the radio, whether you're following us on the TV. They all have their own set of gremlins and bugbears and snafus and whatever else we may want to call them that can cause difficulties. Technology still isn't an exact science, and, you know, it has all its, what I have termed over the years, the less wonderful vagaries of all its sophistication and so on. The more sophisticated technology becomes, it has a side that the more delicate and that it can become. But talking to the very same person who said that she has problems getting the archived programs, the Facebook Live and so on, I promised to send her the link, because you can go on the NBC website and then you can click on videos, and then it will give you, you know, the videos of programs that we've had, Zafenu and Real Issues and whatever else and so on. If you're having any problems with that, let me know again so I can deal with that. I didn't realize that there was a problem. I have never had a problem except in exceptional circumstances going back to listen to a program. So I'll see what exactly is going on and maybe inform you accordingly. Meanwhile, if others have the same problem where after the program, many of you can't listen to it in real time, you have to go back to the recording and follow it and so on. If you're having those issues, shoot us messages so that we can know to look into those matters as well. Remember that Conway Twitty country and western song from long ago? Well, it's a long time Conway Twitty died. I'm sure last year would have been, 30 years? So this year will be 31 years he died. One of his songs, Linda on My Mind, you know, I'm lying here. I got someone called Linda on My Mind, but not in the manner of Conway Twitty. Nothing romantic. A friend who we have a lot of friendly fire arguments from time to time. And this friend was telling me this morning that she wanted me to take up something on my program pertaining to an issue that she's having. And the issue is this, that she claims the Immigration Department, the Passport Office to be precise, that they introduced this, how they call it, this expedited service where you have to pay a little more and they'll process, supposedly. I paid that expedited once, and I swear the up and down and all of that I had, that it wouldn't have been any much different if I had left it normal. But I was looking to help a St. Lucian, you know, in Antigua who would run into problems. I think I may have mentioned that his passport expired and he didn't have the documents to go and to get them renewed, and a whole lot of problems. And in all this time, all the issues at the registry had arisen with rectification and that sort of thing. And what he had was a baptismal certificate, and he needed to get a proper birth certificate. And that was quite a lot, you know, to handle for somebody when it's not yourself. The whole lot of back and forth, JP, registry, all of that and so on. Got it done for him, of course. But I have to say, paying for the expedited, the length of time it took, I kind of wondered, with those who don't have it expedited, wow, what they must have to go through. But here's what my friend Linda was telling me, that she paid for the expedited service, and then they want her to give them some kind of documentation or reason why she wants it expedited, why she wants the process speeded up for her. And she felt, no, if I've paid my money for the expedited service, I've paid the service, you have absolutely no business coming to ask me why. I disagreed with Linda, and we had this animated argument, like I said, friendly fire between us. And I said to her, look, the passport office is not like an amigo, you know, as we used to call, you know, those salesmen some time ago putting around with the bag, who just want to make money. So they're just going to tell you, pay me $5 more and you can get 2 for the price of 1, or whatever it is, or something like that, or 3 for the price of 1, and etc. You know, or give me $5 more and I'll discount whatever for you and so on. They're not that. They're a state agency. They're a government department and a very important one. So they cannot just be like they just want to make money. Once you pay it, we'll process it for you. Every one that they process expedited is probably others that they could have worked on that maybe they're holding back into normal times so that they can speed. So what is the justification? The money isn't everything. The money is probably just a reflection of the extra effort of all the other stops that they have to pull out and so on, the resources that they have to assign to getting your thing done. But it isn't a case of we get the money, so we're okay with that. They want to make sure that if they are going to put the amount of effort and resources and all to speed up their checking and their diligence and all those things with regard to the information that you've supplied them for verification and all the things that they have to do, that it is worth not just the money, but it is worth the security implications. It is worth the precision that they must do. So you must not see it only in the context of the money. I know many years ago, there's something called an emergency passport, that if you wanted an emergency passport, it was usually for medical purposes. So you have an emergency passport, you have a doctor's letter to state that this patient needs to get treatment not available here in the Bahamas, so please, they don't have a passport to get it quickly. I don't know if any fee applied, maybe it did, I can't remember, but there was emergency, and there may be other reasons for issuing emergency passports or expedited passports, which you would need some kind of document or maybe provide a credible justification why you want it. So this was the disagreement that I had with Linda, that if it was a private sector thing, you can say they're just there to make their money. But this is a state/government agency. They have a very serious duty of responsibility in terms of the security features, because now you're going to be interacting through that passport with United States and all those other countries that are on a security knife edge and very high alert and so on, because of what happened September 11th and after that, the whole terrorism, the whole money laundering, the whole trafficking in person thing. So Linda, I have taken up the thing. You said, I will mention it. I told you I will mention it. You said, I know you'll mention it because I know you won't mention it because you disagree with it. No, I am mentioning it, Linda, because I disagree with it. I believe that the people at the passport office, the money that they charge is not one to say you've paid your money, so absolutely the coast is clear, we'll let you go. You've paid your money, but we still have to do our work up to the standard that is required for the security of our state and for the international community of which we are part. Now, yesterday, we didn't have time to get to it because other discussions were just so important. And today I have a guest. I can tell you who she is. She's been here many times before. Senator Lisa Jawai is in the studio with me. And I can tell you, you see this thing about that CIP that Alan Chastney and the people with him have been trying to use as some kind of mischief and malice against their own country. These are people, you can't have them as part of your team, Let's take football as an example. Alan Chastney is a fellow who's scoring an own goal, against you as part of his team all the time, Once he believes it's going to get him the attention, once he believes it's going to get him whatever he's after, Alan Chastney is not a man you ever want to have on your team. He's potting own goal. But you see, the cookie has begun to crumble, This whole mischief thing they're trying to do with CIP, it's unraveling on them rapidly. I told you I suspect that the government is basically keeping quiet, because if you say you filed something, there's legal process associated with it. You don't want to be running your mouth too much. But also too, let them do their thing. Let them burn themselves out. Let them give them a good little distance, because we know we can sprint faster than them. And then you come in and you're cruising and you're overtaking them. It's already happening, and Lisa will deal with that. But before we do that, there's a nice little video that I got yesterday that I thought I really should do justice and don't let it not go through, and it has to do with the desilting of the dam. Folks, all that money that was collected, and this is the sad thing, these fellas go and do all their kind of magie and all their kind of maladministration and all their kind of harebrained, excuses for policy, and at the end of the day, Philip J. Pierre and etc., the ones who inherit it, they're the ones who have to explain it. They're the ones who have to deal with it. And there's sometimes when you find all these snallops and so on by people who always want to show you that they're the sharpest knife in the drawer, that they're smarter than everybody else. You're the one who have to inherit those things and have to find to work your way through. So let's play that video clip. Okay, Jaquan is still downloading it. Pertaining to the Roseau, the John Compton Dam. pertaining to the dam, for which dredging fee, whatever was collected, and how much money, and then equipment was ordered, equipment that never worked, equipment that was not suitable for the purpose, including some soil drying contraption that when you take out the silt, you will pass it just like you pass an iron, you know, on a shirt and so on, and it will dry it for you. It never, same thing, you know, with the landfill down in Vieux-Fort. The landfill that they went and closed, they bought equipment that was supposed to shred whatever, and the thing cannot even shred anything that is the thickness of a cardboard box from Winera, you know. It can't shred that. It's breaking down. It's weak. You might as well take a paper shredder from your office and bring it to the landfill and so on. A whole lot of things that they were doing that just wasn't right. Even to the point now, there's limited space for grazing of ruminants, goats, and so on. There's limited veterinary support because of what they did to Beausejour. Goats and cows and so on want to go around the stadium and so on because they need space. The animals need space. They need space to graze. They need space to chill out. They need space to do all kind of things. So I don't know if the animals think maybe there's veterinary services for whatever bellyache that they're having and so on. These are problems, you know, but they're playing it up. Oh, on social media. Oh, Cabrit take over St. Jude. That's not St. Jude. St. Jude was not supposed to be there. It was not supposed to be there by now. It was supposed to have been gone a long time. It's all this kind of, you know, bagay kon Jean Fou bringing the box when that was nowhere in the reckoning and thing. Resources that should have gone to the completion of St. Jude. Another of the harebrained fair bagay kon Jean Fou schemes of Alan Chastney has caused us to be where we are. But let's say this little video clip, which is not new really, about the desilting of the John Compton Dam. Go ahead, Jaquan.
Great national importance, which is the Roseau Dam project. Where are we supposed to be now? From you would have been in through all the negotiation. I think it was under your tenure we got the 66% tariff increase, which was supposed to go towards the dredging. Where are we supposed to be now, or some of the dredging?
Yeah, you're right. The tariff increase that was given to WASCO during my time as minister, a portion of it was supposed to have been for the desilting of the John Compton Dam. If we had stuck to the program that was in place when I was Minister of Responsibility for Water, by now we would have started the first phase, long started the first phase of the desilting of the John Compton Dam. And that desilting would have taken place in a phased manner. The intention was that we would start the desilting close to the spillway and start moving our way backwards, because there are two extraction points where water is taken out of the reservoir to send to the Tibbles treatment plant in Cicero. The high extraction point is available, the second one is not. The second one is covered in silt. So the intention was that we would excavate from that area, so we would clear a much larger and deeper column of water, so that in the event we have drought conditions, we would have more water that's available to us in the dam, so that we could then send to Tibbles for treatment. So that would be the first phase, and then we would gradually work our way backwards until we reach that beach. I don't know if you've been on a talk, but you know there's a beach. There's actually a beach in the Roseau Dam where you should be in water, but you're actually walking along a beach area where there's sand because of all of the silt that came down. So we should have done that first part of the excavation already. That has not happened. That's the first problem. You cannot distill the John Compton Dam in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. It is a long-term process because of the volume of silt that's in there, and also because of the management of the silt that must take place. When you take that silt out, you have to find a place to put it. Now, fortunately, we had found a location, which I think is still the location that will be used under this administration, where a lot of that silt will be stored. It's almost like a landfill, you know, because you're basically taking soil and you're putting soil in an area, so it has to be in an area where you can accommodate that without causing any grotesque alterations in your landscape. So the first part would have been the preparation of that area for the receipt of that silt. That should have been well completed by now, and by now we should be in the phase where we long started the desilting of the dam, so that in the event there's a dry period this year, and I am concerned actually, although there have been 1 or 2 rains this month, but I am concerned, and I really hope that the Water Resources Management Agency is on top of this, because I find the signals are not looking too good for the dry period for this year, and I'm very worried that if we have a drought this year, that we will find ourselves in a serious water deficit situation. As you know, with the projections we have from climate change, there can be anywhere between a 10 and 25% reduction in rainfall availability as a result of climate change. The kind of global warming we're seeing happening right now, we're already at 1 degree Celsius. We already starting to see many of the impacts of climate change. It's possible that these drought periods will become more prolonged, more frequent, and more devastating. So we really have to accelerate the work that we're doing on the John Compton Dam. I am not confident from what I have seen, what I've heard, that is foremost on the minds of the government, and I think that is something that has to be addressed. We also have to start looking at rehabilitating our other watersheds, because the Roseau Dam services the north of the island. But it's just not just the north of the island that needs water. Everybody needs water. The south of the island has a serious water problem. Now, granted, we received funds from the CDB. Again, that was negotiated during my time for the water redevelopment project for the Denry Valley and also for Vieux Fort. But the more serious problem is the production of the watersheds that will give you the water that these water treatment plants will treat and distribute to the public. And many of these watersheds have been severely compromised over the years because of agricultural activity, because of poor management, because of rain events that have damaged them, because of other activities that have taken place in our forests. So we have to basically pay much better attention to our watersheds and water management. Otherwise, you'll find yourself singing Bob Marley's song, "In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty." And I'm very worried that we get into that phase.
But that said, I understood that when this new administration came in, the tendering process, well, it appears to have been well intentioned. The tendering process was changed to have only locals, to use only local expertise for that project. Your thoughts on that?
Well, the Caribbean Development Bank is involved in this, and I would hate to think that the Caribbean Development Bank would have allowed the government of St. Lucia to do something that was not according to best practice, or that the Caribbean Development Bank would have been lax in its oversight of this to allow the government of St. Lucia to do something that would not be in the best interest of the people of St. Lucia and not allow for the best use of public funds. So that's the only comfort that I have, that the CDB was involved in this process. The loan for the desilting of the dam would come from the CDB, that the revenue stream that we generated from the tariff increase would service that loan, but we would not have accumulated sufficient funds in the bank account from the accumulation of funds to be able to do that desilting. So the CDB was stepping in and was giving us a loan to desilt the dam with the understanding that we would repay it from that revenue stream. So if the CDB was involved, I'm hoping, and it's a very, very big hope, and I'm pinning my hope more on the Caribbean Development Bank than on the government of St. Lucia. But I'm hoping that the Caribbean Development Bank has had a very close oversight of this process and is ensuring that whatever tendering processes that this government is using, those tendering processes are not inimical to the interests of the people of St. Lucia. So my hope lies with the CDB.
Thanks again to Miguel Fevrier for making available to us this clip, this excerpt of an interview that he did with the former minister responsible for our water resources, among other things, Dr. James Fletcher. Without any further ado, let me say good afternoon and welcome once again to our program, the Communications Director of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party and Senator Ms. Lisa Jawari. Nice having you here.
Good afternoon, Shelton. Thank you so much, and thank you to NBC and Real FM for the opportunity for the St. Lucia Labour Party to come out to have a discussion on what has been happening in our country.
Galaxy Investments has put out their communication. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia, in his own inimitable style, has already refuted, we might say outright debunked, some of the things that are being bandied about our CIP these days. And, we have information that is available all the time. You kind of wonder why some people don't avail themselves of it. Maybe they can't, they don't have the ability, or maybe their agenda is different. I'm going to cede to you this afternoon to deal with this whole CIP brouhaha that the UWP has been trying to, to stir up and to stoke over the past several days. And so please do go ahead.
Thank you, Shelton. So we can start off with CIP because, it is one program that is trending now, and we believe that in as much as we continue to put out the facts, the United Workers' Party always comes out with some new piece of fake news, which we, of course, have to debunk. So very briefly, I will just summarize how and why we are where we are today.
Right. I have the clip of the Prime Minister. If ever you want me to play it, just indicate what time you want it to be played. So, but go ahead.
Perfect. You're referring to the clip of the MOA, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll get to that. What has really triggered or inspired conversation surrounding the Citizenship Investment Program, we believe, is the remarkable announcement that Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre made about the year of infrastructure, the budget year of infrastructure. And we cannot forget that the Prime Minister has truly transformed St. Lucia's economy, inheriting a deficit and in 1 year experiencing over 18% growth. And that is remarkable, and we cannot forget that we have really done a lot for the people of St. Lucia. We've started off with implementing some social programs, some social safety nets, and of course laid the foundation to ensure that our people have the tools that they need to be empowered to be able to allow for their own sustainable development and to allow for other livelihoods to thrive. And these programs will include the youth economy, the MSME, support to farmers. You know, farmers received fertilizer, support to bakers, and the list goes on and on and on, not forgetting the parents and students who benefited from the one laptop per child program reinstated by our government under Minister Honorable Sean Edward. So the foundation has been set, and the Prime Minister announced that right now we are on the road to executing some infrastructural projects. Infrastructural projects because we understand that we need to decrease our unemployment rate. And this Labour Party administration has been able to do so under the leadership of Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Even the social programs that I mentioned, a lot of short-term employment opportunities existed as well. And so the year of infrastructure focuses not just on construction of roads or rehabilitation of roads, although these activities commenced not too long after the SLP got into office, but to allow for some digital infrastructure where, you know, even with the government's website, the SLU Gov website, which allows for you to apply for certain government services online. Now I don't have to go down to Sanssouci area to sign to register a business or to do a name search, then come back 7 days later. I can access all of that online. So the digital infrastructure transformation is part of the year of infrastructure. Of course, the social infrastructure, putting certain measures in place. Then you have the physical infrastructure. We talked about, you know, billions invested or projected to be invested in our economy as a result of foreign direct investment. A lot of it, a major contribution of that goes towards the tourism sector. So I feel like the year of infrastructure really spurred up some excitement amongst the UWP that they began to look for things that were really not there. Then at some point, you know, there were questions regionally, globally about citizenship programs. You know, this was under previous SLP administration, under the last administration, and this administration. These are things that we have absolutely no control over because there are requirements that need to be met, standards that need to be fulfilled. And so some countries decided that at the time they wanted to sign an agreement to state that they were going to abide by these rules, and these are the guidelines they have in place and the structures they have in place, and they wanted to sign. Now, at no point did our Prime Minister or our Minister with responsibility for the Citizenship Investment Program, Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, at no point did either of them or any of them state that St. Lucia never intended to sign the MOA. In fact, our government requested a grandfather clause, and for the benefit of persons who do not know, in summary, it is really an option that, you know, can we delay based on some of these obligations being fulfilled? We can sign now but not be held to that agreement now. That was not an option that was available at the time. And so St. Lucia did the prudent thing of not signing Shelton. And you can imagine the contractual obligations we would have had and the risk we would have taken with our with the people of St. Lucia's money if we just went ahead and rushed and signed that. every single time a mic was before the Prime Minister, he did indicate that he intends to, but these things need to be met. And so the United Workers' Party went on a campaign to shut down the infrastructural project, which they have become very clear about now, due to a press release that they have instituted asking for the removal of the infrastructure project. Much to my surprise, and even to yours, Shelton, that is even an option that is to be considered, because we know the support we get from the CIP will allow for people's homes to be built, will allow for your child to have a roof over her head.
Yes.
And I constantly give those examples about certain people in certain parts of the country, and some may not have to deal with that, but others have to deal with it. Your roof leaking, your clothes wet, you cannot go to school, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, because your basic need for survival, which is shelter, is not being met. Now, Honorable Philip J. Pierre and the cabinet did their best in terms of implementing a home repair program. At this point, Prime Minister is saying, we have found a way to get revenue to be able to help you build your own home. And proceeds, Prime Minister announced, proceeds from CIP will allow for on-lending to St. Lucians, where they can build their own home. So why would the United Workers' Party fight that, Shelton? Why would you fight that? Because it's not infrastructural support that is handpicked, like Labour Party people are handpicked. It does not work that way, because there are various implementing agencies, for example, the St. Lucia Development Bank, who would have their checklist of the criteria that needs to be met. And you are not discriminated against, or, it's nothing to do with party. So they went on some campaign. Then, interestingly, a gentleman who has surfaced in the past resurfaces, and his name is Philippe Martinez. He resurfaces coming out of dealings in St. Kitts. Coming out of dealings in St. Kitts. I am not aware if Mr. Martinez has ever been to St. Lucia and had a conversation with the leader of the opposition, who was the Prime Minister, Alan Chasney, at the time. But what we are aware of is that Alan Chasney met with Martinez outside of St. Lucia. Interestingly, following that discussion with Martinez, there's a lawsuit. We don't know why and how it came about, Shelton.
And Alan Chasney seems to be flying a flag about that lawsuit more than Martinez himself.
Shelton, a lawsuit came out of nowhere. But guess what? It had nothing to do with the people of St. Lucia. The lawsuit has named the CEO of our CIP in St. Lucia. And, ridiculous enough, the United Workers' Party is asking for the dismissal of Mr. McLeod Emmanuel. So, Shelton, today, and tomorrow somebody just wakes up and accuses me of something, and lose my job or go on immediate leave. No evidence has surfaced.
Not only that, but what they are adducing to Mr. McLeod Emmanuel, based on what they claim he said, and they are quoting him, is again the same thing with the Trinidad Guardian thing. Some publication, now Grenada, said something purportedly quoting Mr. McLeod Emmanuel, which they have since retracted, which they have since apologized for, that Mr. Emmanuel did not say that. But now they want to bring Mr. McLeod Emmanuel into, their lawsuit, when the majority, the bulk of what they are alleging and so on pertains to St. Kitts and Nevis. At the time he was not yet in office, Timothy Harris was still the Prime Minister and all of that.
Guess what, Shelton? Even after the editor of that news outlet from Grenada came out and made a correction, we still heard the PRO of the UWP and his panel on their press conference still make reference to that. And that was widely publicized. So, St. Lucia, think about it.
The same way, like,
what is their agenda?
Halls of Justice is being evaluated based on something that the Trinidad Guardian reported and so on. It's so pathetic. And I'm wondering, what is all this UWP have their tails up? That St. Lucia is being sued. I don't know why you should be happy and rejoicing over that. But more so, no case has been filed. No case is being heard. The court to which they have made the application has not yet even determined whether they will hear the case, whether they have jurisdiction. But they have their tails up like, oh my goodness me, we got them and all this kind of thing.
But Shelton, that is the narrative that they are pushing, that St. Lucia is being sued. Yeah. And we want the people of St. Lucia to know that this is absolutely false. Our CIP program is not being sued. Our government ministers, we are not being sued. A gentleman who has been known to have many issues, some gray areas surrounding him, has come out with a lawsuit naming people. He's come out and made certain allegations, and not 1 ounce of evidence has been put forward. So when you listen to the press conference by the UWP today, and their PRO, Leonard Montoot, former parliamentary rep for Grosile, comes out and says that the CEO of CIP needs to be dismissed. Based on what? That the minister with responsibility for investment needs to go on leave or needs to be removed from his position? Under what premise, Shelton? Talking about the minister for CIP has gone into hiding. Everybody in St. Lucia is fully aware that if it's one person who will defend his name and who has defended his name time and time after time, year after year, in opposition and in government, that is Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire. So because Honorable Hilaire is out on government business, and I noticed a really nice video of him circulating today, it appears that, he's in some country that is not English speaking, handling some CIP business, because you did see the name of the organization come up on the video. At some point we can play it. How is he hiding? How is he hiding? Stop giving the people of St. Lucia the impression that there is any secret. There are absolutely no secrets. Everything is above board. They spoke of the infrastructure option, Shelton, and I shared it with you. But before we talk about the infrastructure option, I think we can play that video clip that you said you had, the one of the Prime Minister, speaking about the MOA. So the viewers and the listeners can get a full understanding of what is being proposed by St. Lucia.
Let's do that, then we'll go to the break. When we come back, there is a press release that Caribbean Galaxy has put out.
And we can talk about that.
Preliminary response to this lawsuit that Martinez says he has filed. We don't even know if that thing will be heard. Like I said yesterday, why hasn't he filed an action in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, which is the court that has jurisdiction both in St. Kitts and in St. Lucia, and wherever else in the OECS? This court has unlimited jurisdiction. Why not here? Why in Florida, in Tampa, in whatever you go in and file it? This seems to be a good reflection of this gentleman who wants to make us believe that he's best suited to lead St. Lucia, but he does not seem to have any connection and bonding with St. Lucia. Even court actions like he doesn't have faith, it's Miami. I believe he's behind that thing. But anyway, the proof will come out later. Let's play the clip of the Prime Minister.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'll read a statement on the St. Lucia proposed the changes to our CIP program. After careful review and extensive discussions with stakeholders and other OECS heads of government with CIP programs, the government of St. Lucia announces that it has decided to sign the Memorandum of Agreement, MOA, already signed by other OECS CIP countries. The memorandum calls for common standards and procedures in the following areas: pricing, information sharing and transparency standards, regulation, security screening and framework, regulation of agents, marketing and promotion of programs, joint training and capacity building, dispute resolution, amendment and termination. In addition to signing this memorandum, St. Lucia has made further suggestions to strengthen this regional agreement, including proposing legislative changes to address change of name requests. This has been agreed to by other heads of government. After consultations are completed with regional governments and other partners, the government of St. Lucia will suggest further strengthening of the CIP program. This would include an annual quota, a net worth for applicants, escrow accounts to be held in St. Lucia or in individual islands, a requirement that only licensed promoters will be allowed to submit applicants to local authorized agents, and those promoters will have to submit a due diligence report on each applicant. Over the last year, the Citizenship by Investment Unit in St. Lucia has instituted all 6 principles agreed to with the United States government. From February 15, 2023, a ban on applicants from Russia and Belarusians. From September 4th, 2023, implemented applicant interviews. From September 4th, 2023, vetting of all applicants through the local Financial Intelligence Authority. From January 2020, sharing of denials with the Joint Regional Communication Center, JRCC. An operational review of the program by international consultancy firm will commence shortly. The St. Lucia CIP unit will seek international support with the recovery of revoked passports. Additionally, the St. Lucia CIP unit publishes an annual report that is tabled in Parliament, which includes financial statements. Furthermore, the fee structure for different options are published in the official gazette. The government of St. Lucia remains committed to maintaining and reinforcing the integrity of its CIP program with a transparent and accountable process that delivers tangible benefits to all St. Lucians. Thank you. Just before I open the floor for questions, I want to remind you that what St. Lucia is proposing is what St. Lucia had before. That was reversed by the last government. The 3 things being an annual quota, a net worth for applicants, and escrow accounts to be held in St. Lucia. St. Lucia already had established that, and it was reversed by the last government. So we are saying that we are advising our other governments to bring it back. So basically, go back where we started, because that is where we started. We said it would be 500 applicants. The fee would have been $200,000, and then each applicant should have had a net worth. So we're saying let's go back there, because we were there and we were taken back by the last government.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting a daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's ginger turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
Live streaming has become one of the best ways to connect the funeral of a loved one with friends and family, both local and international. NBC Television will live stream your funerals on television and Facebook at a reasonable rate. With our state-of-the-art equipment, you can be assured that the quality of your funeral will be to your satisfaction. Call our office now and book your obituary and streaming with us. 758-453-7458.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
Month number 6, June 2024. We are on Real FM Radio, on NBC Television, and on Facebook Live as well. Caribbean Galaxy has decided that they've had enough taking blows and they're not, firing back, they're not striking back and so on. They're going to say something, and let's read the something that they've put out. It's a press release, a bit lengthy, but we have to read it. It says Caribbean Galaxy update on defamation and legal action against Philip Martinez and his co-conspirators. Caribbean Galaxy update on defamation and legal action against Martinez, talking about he taking people to court and he's suing people. Well, Caribbean Galaxy, just the heading tell you that they're not taking this sitting down, much less lying down. So Caribbean Galaxy update on defamation and legal action against Philip Martinez and his co-conspirators, and that's dated June the 3rd, 2024. We're talking about just yesterday. Headquarters, that's where it comes from. On May 23rd, 2024, Caribbean Galaxy Real Estate Corporation was named in a lawsuit from plaintiffs MSR Media, SKN Limited, that's in Kitts and Nevis, of course, MSR Hotels and Company Limited, MSR Media International, LLC, MSR entities, and Philip Martinez, who allege that Caribbean Galaxy acted improperly and illegally in the citizenship programs in St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia. Subheading History. Point number 1. Caribbean Galaxy is one of the leading developers using citizenship by investment options in the Caribbean and has built the Ramada Hotel in St. Kitts and also raised the financing for the construction of the modern St. Kitts Correctional Facility. Through these initiatives, we have provided hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis. Point number 2. Caribbean Galaxy first came to St. Lucia in 2018. Who was in office at that time? Who was there, monsieur? Caribbean Galaxy first came to St. Lucia in 2018, was approved by the former administration as a CIP real estate project, and fully commenced the construction of the Dreams Resort in early 2023. We intend to follow with the construction of a Zoetry, that's how it's pronounced, resort, along with residences. 3. Caribbean Galaxy is a developer in the newly announced infrastructure option under the Government of St. Lucia's Citizenship Program, where, in addition to financing the various infrastructure projects, we will provide revenues through the collection of fees to the Government of St. Lucia. 4. Caribbean Galaxy has always followed the law in St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia, and all its business dealings follow industry practices. Let me go now to the second page. Beg your pardon. Okay, second page. Think you got that one now. All right, action. It is with this background that Caribbean Galaxy is appalled by the false accusations of Philip Martinez, suggesting that our company has engaged in corrupt practices with politicians in St. Kitts and Nevis and St. Lucia. Mr. Martinez has stated that our actions as citizenship program agents in these countries have precluded him from realizing his investments. We want to make it categorically clear that Caribbean Galaxy has no relationship or business dealings with Philip Martinez. Our business dealings in the countries where we are approved as a developer has been in full accordance with the laws of those countries, and we take serious offense to the accusations made by Mr. Martinez, which seeks to destroy the reputation and goodwill of our company. Since conducting business as a developer in the Caribbean, our company has not just acted as agents for citizenship programs, but has taken a keen interest in the social and economic development of local communities. Caribbean Galaxy will continue to defend itself against these allegations, just as it has in the defamation and legal action instituted against Philip Martinez and his co-conspirators in St. Kitts and Nevis in November 2023. So Martinez ain't the only one firing licks, He getting licks too, St. Kitts and Nevis, and who knows, out of St. Lucia, some blues might be fired as well. To those who flying a flag about Martinez's intended lawsuit, against McLeod Emmanuel, that's the only St. Lucian, entity that he has thing, To those who flying a big flag, I hope you all will take Caribbean Galaxy's press release and any subsequent actions and make a big my way with it as well. But let me continue reading. All right. Let's say that. Caribbean Galaxy continues to work toward the completion of the Dreams Resort and remains committed to offering revenue to the government of St. Lucia as part of the infrastructure option. Caribbean Galaxy reassures the government and the people of St. Lucia that it will vigorously defend its name in whatever court of law required and will not be intimidated or bullied by the selfish actions of individuals who have found themselves lacking in achieving their investments. We promise the public that we will continue to be committed to St. Lucia and will continue to contribute to the positive transformation of the island, its people, and its future generations. Accordingly, we also wish to thank the present and former governments for their continued support in these initiatives. They're being magnanimous, and they're thanking the former governments, for whatever collaboration they give them. You see, when people are out of office, they keep talking about others having chagrin pouvoir, but sour grapes, We don't have our hands on the levers and on the coffers. Anyway, Senator Lisa Jawahir is my guest, and I'll let her take it from there.
Shelton, sometimes you hear a lot of things and you probably wonder, maybe at some point it will go away. But I believe that this organization or this company has had enough of it, with their name being dragged into this. And I think it's commendable. They will put out a press release. What I think about the press release, which I appreciate and I believe people appreciate, is the commitment to the people of St. Lucia to maintain their support to the government in terms of their agreement to offer revenue as part of the infrastructure option. Now, speaking of the infrastructure option, and we have this little graphic we can put up on the screen. Well, this screenshot, because Mr. Shasney said in his press conference today that he had never heard of an infrastructure option, and it's been a discussion. But you know what? The same way they said they never knew the amount for the House of Justice project, the same way they said the media was not invited, but interestingly, the media carried the story on every single outlet that night, the same way they said it's a secret deal, this and that and the other. I just want to show on the screen a screenshot of the part of the Gazette that speaks towards the infrastructure option or the enterprise project. And it says in the first table, fees applicable for an enterprise project investment under option 3 in schedule 2. And it speaks of the applicant applying a loan, US 15,000, the applicant and 1 qualifying dependent, 20,000, applicant and 2 qualifying dependents, 25K US, and an applicant with 3 qualifying dependents or more, US 30,000. Lower down, I'm referring to the second table, speaks of an amendment to the schedule, and schedule 2 of the principal regulations is amended by deleting paragraph 3 and by replacing the following. So obviously this would have gone through the necessary parliamentary procedures, and it's now in the Gazette. Investment, option 3, investment in an approved enterprise project. On approval of an application by means of an investment in an approved enterprise project, the following minimum investment is required. Number 1, the applicant, US 3.5 million, plus no less than 3 permanent jobs. Option 2, A, more than 1 applicant in a joint investment. The requirement is US 6 million, plus no less than 6 permanent jobs. Part B of option 2 speaks of each applicant to contribute a minimum of US 1 million. Part C, each additional qualifying dependent of any age, and the requirement is applicable processing and administration fees. Option 3, applicant alone, US 100,000, applicant and up to 3 qualified dependents of any age, that's US 150,000. So to really bring some context to this was really just shown to the people of St. Lucia, and for the benefit of those who are listening online, on radio, I read it out. Because this is from the Gazette. Now, Shelton, I know you have certain groups that you are part of where you know, people may want to read the full Gazette. What we can do henceforth on the St. Lucia Labour Party pages or even the Government of St. Lucia pages, we could encourage the distribution of the Gazette. Okay. Because not everyone would have been on the mailing list, not everyone would have seen it, but trust me, Alan Shasney would receive the Gazette, especially as a former parliamentarian.
Attention to anything. I wonder if this man has the discipline, if he has the rigor, or if he's dyslexic, to sit down and to read things and to go through them. And plus, he's walking out of Parliament too much. When he goes to Parliament, is always a ruru, is always some kind of altercation. He's looking for with the speaker and with somebody else, and then an excuse for him to walk out. Alan Shasney is not paying attention to the things that he's supposed to be paying attention to, including his constituency. You never hear him go and talk about advocating for Miku South. Never that. But quite apart from that.
But when was the last time you heard him advocating for Miku South?
But not only that, too, the man is chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. These are things that Shasney should have his eyes upon and to be digesting them.
Everything that is not relating to St. Lucia. Yeah. And we have to reiterate, this lawsuit by Mr. Martinez is not suing the government of St. Lucia. It is not suing St. Lucia's CIP department. Okay? So this has nothing to do with us. And because somebody woke up one day and decided to name people, the UWP is saying, oh, they're running panic. I guess that's how they operated when they were in government. Panic. This one needs to go on leave. This one needs to do this one needs to do that. But Shelton, this is the treatment that we really wanted to give to the CIP discussion. I'm really pleased that you were able to play that clip, so it gave St. Lucians a better understanding of things.
All right. Miguel Fevrier says that someone is asking on the live what issue of the Gazette, and I think we can tell you that it is December the 10th, 2023. It's an extraordinary issue of the Gazette of December 10th, 2023. All right. Now, Miguel, you in a bad way or you were being deliberately sarcastic? Because you say, Shelton, let's not engage in revisionist history. We all know Compton was PM in 2018. He brought Galaxy in. Was it a deliberate tongue-in-cheek that Compton was PM, or is it that you're in such a bad way that you've forgotten that Compton died 11 years before that in 2007?
Maybe Miguel can clarify. But interestingly, in the Galaxy statement, they said that they came in when the UWP was in office, and they also thanked the UWP administration for the support at their time. And this is just an organization who has done well for themselves and has the opportunity to offer financing to us. Now, if it's going to develop the lives of St. Lucians, then why not? Because we see that this organization has, I think they had a Carnival Queen who won last year. Okay. They're doing different activities. So, moving on from the CIP, Shelton, there's so much more that we continue to do for the people of St. Lucia. I know But
even before you go there, just hold that thought. Don't lose it. We're almost due for a commercial break. We'll come back on the other side. And we most likely will be asking for extra time today. But folks, we must pay attention to what the Prime Minister said, that a lot of the issues with CIP, that the OECS wants to come together as one body so that they can have a collective way of dealing with it. So that it's not a case of the different territories so trying to cut each other's throat, that they're watering down and they're diluting and they're cheapening the CIP, compromising its security, compromising its robustness, compromising the regard in which it is held. A lot of this was done by Alan Chastney when he came in. This obsession he has with undoing, with redoing, with doing over, with mashing up whatever SLP did to show he can do it better and what of that. Alan Chastney is the one who came and cut down the application fee for CIP by half, from 200,000 or 150 to 100,000. Remember, Gaston Brown came and lamented what he said was the cutthroat competitiveness in the region that was leading to a race to the bottom. He mentioned about that. Alan Chastney is the one that when they said, okay, we are not going to process more than 500 applications a year, he removed the limit. But he needed to do that, because wasn't that the deal with Theo Akin? That you're going to sell passports and you'll take the money, and the money that was budgeted for that Desert Star Holdings, DSH, whatever it was, Pull of the Caribbean thing. When I did my calculations, they would need to sell at least 8,000 St. Lucian passports, just to be able to make that initial amount of money. So a lot of the problems that arose with CIP that the other regions want us to sign up to correct, Alan Chastney is the one who caused them. They happened during his administration. They were direct policy actions on his part which led to those problems. All right? We have to remember that. Anyway, Lisa, go ahead. I told you don't lose your train of thought, but we have to make people know those things.
That's fine. And I know we have to get some callers as well. Shelton, some of your callers yesterday and over the last few days did a very good job in really bringing out some important projects that the government of St. Lucia has been able to do, and I'll briefly remind the public of that, because interestingly, Shelton, in one day a lot of sectors received support from the government. The police had 28 new vehicles that included the ATVs, the vehicle for the SSU, the vehicles for the police force. The police received that resources. Prime Minister, debunked some claims that these resources the claims that suggest that the resources are insignificant and speak towards the replacement of the resources. So Prime Minister and the Deputy Commissioner of Police, also the Madam Commissioner of Police, Mr. Cherry from Yamaha and the team, and the commitment to be able to offer more safety gear and more resources. I think that was really incredible to see that happen at the training school on Friday. And immediately after that, we rushed to Castries, Honorable Richard Frederick. Interestingly, Richard just has this thing about him where, you look at him, he says something and he gets it done. Similarly to when he opened up the stairs up in Boapatat, I was attending there. He had a conversation with PM. One Sunday they were walking. PM asked for better housing facilities for the vendors along the sidewalks, and boom, in 3-4 months it was done. And about I believe 22 vendors benefited from the handing over of the vendors' booths in Castries at Bedo Park in Castries. Then we had to go down to Dennery, Shelton.
Yes.
And the feedback from the farmers, it was incredible. Now that does not mean that everybody would be satisfied with what you give them. But Shelton, any little thing is better
than nothing.
And for some people, and even the news captured that, they received more than they expected. Because some people said they went there expecting to get just $500. And can you imagine, over 244 farmers were beneficiaries of financial support from Honorable Philip.
So right away, once you talk about 244 and you put the average at $1,000 each of them, that's $250,000,
Let me tell you.
In one day, in one session, it's and that's not all.
If it were just that, because Prime Minister did say that the investment initially was 500,000, and then it increased. It almost nearly doubled. And so we had some conversations with some of the farmers who expressed how happy they were. They were very patient with the whole process, although they understood that the government was not to be blamed for the shortage of boxes, because government doesn't make boxes. Government doesn't make boxes, but government would try its best to get the resources to you. And so some people were compensated for perhaps the apparent loss in revenue at the time. I thought that was very moving. I thought that was very encouraging, because Prime Minister Philip JPA, they like to say he is just associating with the police because his father was a police officer. But Prime Minister Philip JPA, in every statement that he has made, even though he may be chastised by the opposition, has included persons from various sectors. So when he told the public, he told our young people, he told the next generation, he told leaders to eat more bananas, eat more fig. People make joke about eat fig with oil, eat fig this, eat fig. Eating more means a farmer can sustain his family.
Exactly.
It means that farmer can hire more men and women on his farm, which means these men and women can now send their children to school. Some of them can go to school, but they don't have bus money. Some of them have bus money, but they don't have food. You are putting food on the table for people, and the ripple effect in terms of the job opportunities and the lives that can be changed because Prime Minister says eat more fig is incredible.
Yes.
When he says eat more bananas, he's telling you support local, buy local, send a child to school, give somebody a job, because you are maintaining the food security of our nation.
Right.
And so he took personal interest in ensuring that these farmers benefited. What I really appreciated, Shelton, was that even when Prime Minister said that not everybody would have been able to get at the time, Minister Honorable Sean Edward from Dennery North came and said there's an agreement in cabinet that based on the criteria, if you didn't get this time, there's what you call the constituency development program allocation. You will get from the CDP. We'll find a way to support you, so no man is left behind.
All right, thank you very much. What we'll do now, let me just before we go for the break, there's a nice message which I think is really intended for you. Wow, great show as usual. Kudos to Lisa, calm, cool and composed, putting paid to the crapola being put out by Gwinson.
I think I know who sent you that.
Gwinson and his surrogates, and puts a footnote to tell me you can read it, if you wish.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you.
All right. We have a few other messages there, but Miguel says that's what's going to come out of the next PS conference. It can't possibly be Allen.
I had the people press conference just finished, so I'm waiting to see what was the urgent discussion, and it doesn't seem that there's anything urgent or pressing because nothing has been said as yet.
Good afternoon to Cornelia Jacob, who says our health system has improved considerably, that goats feel so confident in our health system they're walking into St. Jude.
But I want to alert Sister Jacob that we will be spending a lot of time talking about the health sector.
Yes,
because there's I got a call from someone this morning that a particular radio station allowed certain people to say things based on their own experiences that would indicate that there are no resources, no medication at OKU. So one time I contacted Minister for Health, Honorable Moses Jabatis, and he was able to get in touch with somebody, and he told me, that is not the information that he has received. Okay. And just in summary, we can just touch in summary because I know he's really overseas in Washington right now. Having some conversations, but let's not forget that the St. Lucia Labour Party implemented phase 1 of universal health care. Let's not forget that over 3,000 persons at the age of 80 or above will benefit from free medical visits and free tests. Let's not forget that mothers, pregnant expecting mothers, will no longer have to pay for an ultrasound or blood test at government facilities. Phase 1 of universal health care, we talk about the institutional programs that are now at OKU, the support to ensure, and Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, let's be reminded, is the first and only Prime Minister to ever secure financing for the St. Jude Hospital.
Okay.
The first and only Prime Minister to do so. And work at St. Jude Hospital continues.
Right.
So there may be a few things that happen. I'm not sure how they were able to get on the premises, but they don't graze too far from the hospital, where the hospital is now. But perhaps on For the Record tomorrow night and during our other deliberations this week, we'll speak a bit more on healthcare.
All right. Another message says, reference Miguel's interview, we should note that the Alan Chastney administration broke convention, and instead of having the Prime Minister or Minister of Finance, Guy Joseph was St. Lucia's representative on the Board of Governors to the CDB. All right, there's one more message I want to read before we go, and that is with regard to the passport issue. That's my friend Linda said she had some kind of taking exception to it. Someone said, I got my passport renewed, I paid for a service, and that's it. No question was asked. So, Linda, maybe they're targeting you. Maybe they consider you, as kind of a security, risk or so on. So they need to delve deeper into it. It looks like that's not the experience of at least one other person. Just kidding, really, about the security risk. Maybe I'll get a chance to talk to the person on the new head of the Immigration Department. As we know, Inspector Sean Alexander, or Assistant Superintendent Sean Alexander, has retired. All right, we take a break. When we come back, the telephone lines will be open for your calls. We'll read more of your messages. Real Issues is on.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real Issues, 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop opposite the Grosley Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosley.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
724-7325, the mobile number on which you can WhatsApp call us, 758-724-7325. And you can also call us on the landline, and that is 4533-911. So we're open to taking your calls. Jaquan, make sure that the monitor volume is up, that I can hear, and that my own microphone level is such that people don't say they're not hearing me, all right? So 724-7325 and 4533-911, the real issues. My very special guest, Senator Lisa Jawahi. She is the communications director of the governing St. Lucia Labour Party, and the person who today is not surprisingly on a mission to debunk all the lies and the misconceptions and the false allegations that are being swirled around the place about our CIP and we're in trouble and the Caribbean, they don't like us and they don't trust us and this and that, and making it look like, he was whistle clean during the time that he was Prime Minister and Minister for Finance of this country. But we have our first caller. Good afternoon, Real Issues. Hello.
Son.
Yeah, hi.
And beautiful Lisa.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Wonderful show. I'm enjoying the show down in Labrie, the People's Republic of Labrie.
Nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you. Go ahead.
Yes. Oh yeah. So I've been following what is going on, and it, like you say, it's just a detractors just causing distraction, because whenever you're doing something good, and people have nothing to say for it, so they will always come up with something, because they have nothing to show. Come to think of it, they have nothing to show, so they just, like the saying goes, empty vessels make the most noise. So these guys are just making noise about nothing.
All right.
So it's just a distraction they're causing.
I agree,
So
caller.
I'm just happy that you're highlighting, what the government is doing, and with Yadi and all the others. So people have to see what is going on. I mean, it's not the era, it's an age of technology, so everybody can see right now, so you cannot fool people. Like before, everybody can see what's going on. So I just wanted to continue what you're doing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right. We continue. Okay. We don't need it too loud, like I said, just so that I can hear it. I hope you're not punishing me there, Jaquan, with some feedback and so on. Because I said, turn up the volume, so come to more Levi Saga. So, all right, 724-7325 and 4533911, the numbers to dial. Lisa, in the meantime, you can go ahead with any other point that you wanted to make. We don't have you too often.
Shelton,
So.
somebody sent me a message just now as we are having this conversation, asking me to clarify what the Prime Minister meant when he said that young journalists are doing the job of the UWP. I noted that a particular television station carried that on the news last night, but we were waiting to see how this information would have unfolded. But for the benefit of those who are curious and those who need clarification of that, be happy to do so. Prime Minister spoke of the fact that the opposition is weak. This is not new information. This is not the first time the Prime Minister has said so. He would say that the opposition is weak because the opposition can never fact check itself. The opposition is never in a position to provide for once, just once in their press conference, information that is completely factual without it being twisted, misrepresented, etc. In their opinion, the truth is what they believe it to be. So that's the information they put out. But for us, it is important for us to know. Prime Minister never said that young people are doing, or young journalists are doing the job for the UWP to insinuate or to suggest that they are hired by the United Workers' Party. That's not what it is. Prime Minister was very clear about that, to indicate that because the opposition is so weak, that they're now giving the young journalists extra work to do, Shelton.
Okay.
Giving them extra work to do, which they should be doing themselves. So I hope that clarified that person's
All
concerns.
Right. Okay, we have a call on the line. Hi, good afternoon. Real Issues. Hello.
Good afternoon. Hi.
Hi, good afternoon
Good
to you.
afternoon.
How you doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm fairly partly cloudy, just as the weather is in the south today.
I'm loving the weather.
Yes. Look, do you know, Lisa and Shelton, that it's Mr. Pierre who got us rain? Mr. Pierre?
You came with that same thing yesterday. You coming back?
Do you know?
I wasn't there
Yes,
yesterday. What?
I didn't call you yesterday.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
did
I don't
not
know.
call you
You
yesterday.
came with that same. Oh no, it was Gaspar. Gaspar was it? Nothing.
Caller, tell me.
Gaspar Henry.
And I
didn't say
did
that.
not call on Monday, so say Pamwe. You see all ascribing things to me that is not mine. But
Okay.
hello, let me ascribe to Mr. Pierre what is his. Mr. Pierre had the sun shining on us, doing all kind of harm. because Mr. Pierre know what he can do. So Mr. Pierre now has brought us the rain so the farmers can breathe again and we're not going to feel too hot.
I rebuke that, as I rebuked it yesterday.
Okay, so then now let me move to the screwdriver issue. They're calling Mr. Pierre a screwdriver, and yes, he's a Phillips screwdriver. He's tightening loose screws in this country. Imagine the country noticed that we had a lot of loose screws. So July 26th,
that's a calypso.
we went.
No.
Yes, it's a calypso, Lisa. Now you see, you behave yourself. So St. Lucia went to the polls on the 26th of July, and they ensured they bought us a screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver. And let me tell you, the man tightening loose screws so much that in the last 3 years, under 3 years, he has given the police 63 new vehicles, 63, and they're not replacement, because that was decided and ensured. It was how you call it again, blown off the water, just as if it had a jet ski behind it. The man even gave the police for jet skis. And when you look at the Felipe Martinez issue, look. Mr. Pierre didn't even have to say nothing. Mr. Pierre just opened his mouth and everybody started to send press release. Can't you see what Moses is doing, Shelton? Shelton, do you see the power of Moses? Moses just debunked Felipe. Okay? Boom, Denzel Douglas weapon. Boom, Luke Caribbean Galaxy weapon. And it is only going to prove the point that the United Wreckers of Peace, because that's what they're doing. They're trying to wreck the peace in this country, and we shall not allow them. They have nothing to hang on to, nothing. They like drowning people, catching at straws, but there ain't no straws in the water, so they gotta drown. You know, how could you tell lies like that? You mean to tell me Shasney is so desperate he can't get his hands on his father's money? If I were his father, if he managed a country so damn well, I would have given him to manage my business, especially since I'm not there. Give him to manage my business so St. Lucians can see after he can handle the country, he can now officially handle his father's business. But no, they're going to find every trick, everything, every broken screw we fixing that. You know what? There's something else, but we go leave it for later. Shelton, them goats, they around the house, they around the stadium, and they did not come there now under Philip J. Pierre's administration, you know. They've been around, okay? They've been around, but they realize if a man, after we had all of that sun, if a man can bring rain for us, and we just want to check what's going on inside of us. So they walked into the stadium to get a checkup because he's so confident. They figure Mr. Pierre do for the pregnant mothers, he do for the seniors, he do for everybody in health. Let me go and check them people and see if they can negotiate on our behalf. The person who did the video, we thank you so much on behalf of all the goats. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Shelton, thank you, caller. I came across this video, but we haven't gotten an English version of it as yet, but it really just shows what Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire has been up to. It seems that he is in, as I mentioned, you know, a country that is not English speaking, working on
Arabic
CIP.
To me, what
it
I
looks,
saw there.
yeah. So we hope to get, you know, the English version in terms of the text, the captions, so people can get, you know, a clear understanding of what's going on. But it looks really nice. Clearly, people are too busy, you know, making assumptions and looking for things that are not there, but the government of St. Lucia is
Purveying
working.
mischief and malice is what I call it. You know, that's what is going on there. You know, this is what they're doing. Good afternoon to those of you on the Facebook Live. Thank you so very much for being there, for making your contributions. People like Cletus Peter and Francis Philip as well. We have Victor Edward, we have Marie Frederick, and a lot of them are really bigging up Senator Lisa Jawai, who is our very special guest today on the program. Esther Joseph, Philip Shelcher as well.
Good afternoon, Shelton.
And we have someone else on the line. Gaspar, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Michelle Obama.
Hey.
Michelle Obama.
Hi, Gaspar. Good afternoon.
Yeah, go ahead with your contribution. The time is really going on us.
Shelton.
Yes.
It is said that one must not put their hand in fire. But you see, brother McLeod Emmanuel, I put in my hand only, you know. I put in my neck on a block for that young man, you know. Shelton, I know brother McLeod Emmanuel, for the past 20 years. And this man is a noble man. He's a man of honor. He's a man who upholds high ethics. You see, he's a Christian. He upholds true Christian.
Your phone has a problem, eh? It's cutting off ever so often. Hello? Gaspar, your phone has a problem. It's breaking up, it's cutting off ever so often, and we're not hearing anything you're saying, and then it just kicks back in again. It's been doing that since yesterday, I think. So,
He's a Christian man.
Yeah.
And he upholds values. He's a family man. People not making the tens of millions that they used to make. So in a quest to sully his name, but God will vindicate him. Brother McLeod Emmanuel, you are in my prayers, and I'm standing with you, my brother. God will vindicate you. Have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Thank you, comrade, for that show of support. Well, Shelton, it's always a pleasure to come here. Always a pleasure to come here and have these conversations with you and our listeners. Although we try to be on, try to connect as often as we can, we still need to ensure that the people of St. Lucia get the facts, and they need to be armed with the facts. So today we are on NBC. Tomorrow I will be on What Makes Me Mad with Stanley Lucian at 9:30 in the morning. On Thursday, I will be with Calix George on The Lunchroom at 12:45. And on Friday, I will be on Zafenu with Yadi and Jaim. And all in an effort to push the policies and programs of this Philip J. Pierre-led administration, which I am a strong advocate for its policies. Because I believe that the policies by this administration impact the lives. It touches the lives of the majority, not just a few, not just some, but the majority of St. Lucians. And in some way or the other, somebody will benefit from the programs of Honorable Philip J. Pierre. So Shelton, thank you again for the opportunity. The St. Lucia Labour Party continues to monitor what's going on and, of course, encourage our government to do what is right. And we will continue to defend our parliamentarians because they are working hard. I noted that one or two parliamentarians have been constantly in the media. Some of them are overseas. Some of them were able to attend various initiatives. This Friday, Honorable Jeremiah Norbert has the reopening of the Miku Jetty. Let me tell you, Shelton, they continue to work. They are working. And Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre is working for you. So thank you, St. Lucia, for the opportunity.
All right. A lot are coming on now. Okay, folks, we have to skip out of here rather quickly, but thank you for being here. And join us same time tomorrow from 12:30. Until then, Shelton Daniel for Jaquan Joseph, our technical operator, signing out.
1118 Big 4 6357. The Big 4 multi-X ball drawn is FE. Big 2 81. The Big 2 multi-X ball drawn is 2X. 1 off 166. Lucky 3 275. The Lucky 3 multi-X ball drawn is 2X.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.